Hello everybody, what is going on? I am the UndeadCircuit, aka the One Defect, and today we're going to be taking you through a bit of Hellion and how to get started and how to not die within your first few minutes. I'd like to point out this is a pre-alpha build and the game is in early access, so a lot of this might be subject to change, but we never know. So, we're going to push F to interact and step out of our cryopod. This is where you will respawn in case you die. And you might see that we're in a station, you might see that we're in a bit of a space station and there's oxygen. So, you move using WASD and you can walk over past all these consoles. I want you to ignore this for now and head straight over to this locker. You're going to push F to interact, and here are your EVA suits. This will allow you to survive in space. So you need to equip the chest plate first. So we're going to pick it up using F, and then we're going to hold R to equip. And now you can see we have it equipped. And if I hold down Tab, you can see we now have an inventory. So we need a helmet and a jetpack. So we're just going to equip that. F to interact. Get our helmet, push R to put it on. Open this back up, and then here's our RCS pack. So we're going to push R to put it on, and you can see now we have a HUD. So the HUD's pretty self-explanatory. You've got oxygen and exterior pressure in the left, and you have jetpack, RCS offline, which is also your fuel, and the suit power in the bottom right. We're going to close this. And what you can do is you can push X to raise your visor so you're not using your suit's oxygen supply. If you look over here to the left, there's a small med pen you can pick up. Now to access the med pen, push Tab, and you can see here there's a little pill. This is your medical supplies. You go over here, you hover your mouse over here, it says small med pen. You click and drag it into the center, which puts it in your hands. Left click to use. This will consume it, but it'll heal you in the process. If we hover over our jetpack, you can see we have oxygen, fuel, and power all at 100%. And you can see it's now been placed in our hands. To recharge it, you can walk over to this station here and press F to interact to place it on charge. So we're just going to leave it there for now. And we're going to deal with a current situation in the ship. There's no power. You can tell that none of the lights are on. The game is a bit bright. I've turned it up for the video, but usually it is a lot darker than this. You can see not a lot of lights are on. I'd say the station's on emergency power at best. So we're going to go over here to the power supply console. We're going to hit F to interact, and now we're going to see the UI system for this game. So as you can see, we have solar panels here and they are offline. Now to turn the solar panels on, we push this button here which says click to toggle device on and off. So we're going to click it. It says powering up. We're just going to wait, and it's going to say online. There we go, online. We can see the max output is 1,000 units, and the sun coverage is optimal, which means this is the most efficient that our solar panels will be. Now you can see down here, there are system parts, and you can see here it requires a servomotor, and you can see that it has a bar like our oxygen, power, and RCS fuel did. This is its integrity. This degrades over time, and you can see that it affects deploy time of solar panels, affects max air output of air generators, affects max air filtering of air filters. This we'll get into later, but basically these are all the systems this part can go into. But you can see now we're not storing any of the charge, because you can see here our capacitor, which says stores excess power for usage, is offline as well. So we're going to click this to online to turn it online, and we can see we are now generating storage, which is really nice. So you'll always have a backup in case our solar panel system goes offline or gets in the sun. You can see down here our power output right now is 1,000, so we're using 102 units. So we're going to hit F to exit out of this window. And you might have noticed by now, you probably won't notice it on this version, but you might have noticed by now that the base's lights came on when the solar panels were extended. This is good. Now, we've got life support, but if we click here, you can see there's a red number 2. This tells you that this component is missing something. Red means missing, yellow or orange means damaged. Objects do break in this game. these parts do break, and as you can see here, we're missing 2 carbon filters. Then we're going to hit escape. We're going to move over to this console here next to the distress beacon, which you can activate like this. I'm not going to. We're going to open up this cargo crate by using F to interact, and you can see here we've got 2 carbon filters. So we're just going to push F on those, and this adds them to our inventory. We're going to come over here to the air filter. If you ever want to zoom in, say like I'm over here on this console and I want to see what's there, hold down right click and your character will zoom in. Quite a handy thing to know. So if we head over here, we can interact with the air filters. I would recommend stepping back because it does tend to extend quite far. Now, to get the carbon filters in, you can see there's 2 slots for them. We're going to hold tab, hover down to our bottommost inventory, and we've got the carbon filters, the CO2 filters. So we click, and we can see effect, air filtering for air filter, and it's at 55%. So you can see there's a little orange square that indicates its integrity, and you can get a detailed description over here where it says part status, and on any other console. So you can see this is a resource injector. This is currently about orange, so I'd say it's about the same as this, 50% or below, because green means it's pretty much the part's brand new. Yellowish orange means that the part is needing to be replaced soon, it's not going to be working at an optimal rate. And then red is defective, which means it's just not going to work at all, it's broken. So we're going to come back over here to the air filter. We're going to push F to insert the carbon filters, and we're going to do the same thing. Whoops. Now that they're in, we're going to push F to interact with the middle, and that's going to load it. We can also take a look at the part statuses up here. You can see this is a servomotor. This is the same thing that is on the outside of the space station that we use to extend the solar panels. You can see this one's slightly red, so this is actually going to break soon, but it's probably fine for now. And then you can see here we have an air processor. This one's orange, so this one's about 50%, which is all fine and good. But we can replace the servomotor. So we're going to push F to interact with the servomotor. We're going to go over here. In fact, we can store this. So we hover over the space with the item in our hands, and we push F, and we store the servomotor. In fact, let's check the integrity. About 33%, which is fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to hover over here to the yellow, we're going to pick it up, and you can see this one's integrity is 79%, which is a lot better. So we're going to plug that in, and now we have resources flowing. If we want to, we can replace the resource injector, but we don't need to, it's orange. If you ever wanted extra medical supplies, like we had earlier over there, there is a little med kit over here next to the room status panel. We can see on the room status panel that we have gravity, we have pressure, and we have air quality, and the temperature is fine. This is good because this means I can actually take off my visor. If any of these, if the pressure and air quality are in red, either one of them are in red, you cannot take off your visor, you will die. Or start to die. You can see the air filter is on standby, and the pressure regulation is on standby as well. If we go down to life support, we can see these are currently offline. So we're just going to activate these two. And what this is doing is the air filter is generating oxygen and stripping the carbon from the oxygen, so it's generating new oxygen. The air regulator is consuming oxygen and nitrogen in order to create an atmosphere, which is what we need to breathe. So we're going to escape to get out of this menu. So yeah, that is the basics. Right now you are set up, you have your power generation, and you won't be dying anytime soon because you have your life support working. Furthermore, if you want to do a little bit of an explore around the station, you can. But I will warn you, the only way to get out of the station right now is to vent a room. Now, let me just quickly go through that. So, we can walk through these doors by walking up to them. They will open automatically, unless you'll see up ahead, you can see we've vented 0G. What we can do is we can push J to enable gravity. And we can see on the console there we have gravity now. If we push G again, we've disabled it, and you can see gravity's gone red. So we're just going to enable it just to make it easier to walk around. As you can see, we have a cargo storage where you can find general goodies and you can store stuff. In fact, if I wanted to, we can take our helmet off, and we can push G to drop it. And we can store our helmet in there. But now we don't have a helmet, so this is quite bad. So we're going to open that up again. We're going to pick our helmet, and we're going to hold R to put it back on. Hold X to remove the visor. And as you can see over here, this is the docking control. If you pull this, any structure docked to this section of the station will detach. So you want to leave that down. And you can see here we have a pressure hazard, which, see down there it says open manually. And the reason for that is because if we look out there, you can see the stars, and that is space. So this means that on the other side of this is a vacuum. Every time you see this, it means there is no pressure in the other room, or there is pressure in the other room and there isn't pressure in your room. To manually override, open the door controls and pull this lever. I'm not going to because I don't have a jetpack and I don't want to get sucked out into space. So we're going to go back. So that is all you need to know as a basic starter's guide tutorial for how to get set up, how to get the oxygen running and power started, and how to not die. So thank you for watching. I hope this taught you something. If it did, leave a like. If you have any problems, please leave a comment down below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you all and have a good day.